Remember that whole unlevel thing I was talking about? Well, the floor of the van is not level, so it's kind of falling apart. Hello, and welcome back to Minivan Camper Gal. I'm Kelly, and I have made my structure, my sculpture, to go in the Santa Fe. I just took it out today, and I am jumping to paper mache it to just see how it works because it's kind of falling apart. So I'm going to use this craft paper here, and I've torn it up into pieces, and I'm going to be using Titebond 3, which is waterproof. So I'm going to mix glue and water. I got this really great Titebond brush. It's like silicone bristles. So I think I'm going to end up going through a lot of this glue because that did not make a ton. I don't want it to be too watery because, you know, cardboard and water, not the best combo. It's probably going to be my biggest expense is the glue. I might end up putting some sort of, I have these like wooden dowels that I thought that maybe I could use, but they're kind of too short for anything meaningful. Same thing with these slats that I got. I might end up having to cut some wood to support it. I just need to see like how hard it's gonna be and if this is feasible at all before going forward. Alright, so I'm gonna soak my paper. So it's just been over 24 hours since my test. I'm pretty happy with the result. Everything's pretty solid. If I press really hard, I can still squish the cardboard inside. I think with another couple layers, this will be rock solid. And I woke up in the middle of the night and went, okay, putting the water on the top over on the side is a horrible idea. This is gonna be my tap water. It's gonna go in like that. And I still have room for drinking water. I'm going to have one of these little pumps be drinking water and the other be tap water. Great. Problem solved. The cleanup is pretty easy. All the glue just peeled off of my container here. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep going before my tape falls off. Well, what do you think of my drinking water monstrosity? I'm making this one so much higher so that I can still have a water bottle underneath when I have my countertop up. Well, it's almost time to put my cardboard castle back into the SUV. But before I do that, I'm going to do a floor covering so that I can easily clean up dust and any spills that happen, stuff like that. I'm going to be using these peel and stick tiles, but I'm going to stick them to just a fabric. So basically I'm going to cut out a fabric all the way around and see if I can cut the tiles to fit right around and yeah, stick it to this. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. The whole idea of a waterproof floor is that it doesn't have holes in it and cracks in it, which this totally does. Am I even gonna be able to sweep this up? All the dirt's just gonna go in the cracks. Probably be better just to have the fabric. I don't know, this is pretty wonky. I mean, my bed's gonna be over this, so it doesn't really matter, but I'll be trying to pull stuff out and it'll get stuck on these corners and it's not quite the effect I had in mind. Maybe I'll stop and think about it. So those of you who have been worried about my stove, I've been worried about it too. A gas stove inches from a whole bunch of paper is not probably the greatest idea. I've been researching paint and polyurethane that's a fire retardant. If it catches on fire, it doesn't burn through. Some really impressive videos, but still, it's kind of worrying me. So I just got this in the mail today. It's a mini induction cooker. I figure I do have enough power for an electric burner. It says massive firepower. I don't know about that, but it's 500 watts. Wow, it is very small. The ceramic plate will remain hot after cooking. Please do not touch it with your hands. That's the one question I had that I couldn't really find the answer to online. So I wasn't sure if this actually got hot, but it looks like it does. But that's still probably better than an open flame. Well, first I need to see if it works and if I'm going to keep it. Some people said it wouldn't boil water, and other people said it boiled water fine. Some people said it even boiled water faster than propane. So I'm gonna do some experiments. All right, it's time to test it out. So I have my little camp cup. It has 16 ounces of water in it. Okay, let's start the timer. Oh, it's really warm already. There we go. 5 minutes and 49 seconds, almost about 6 minutes. Oh yeah, it's not hot at all. Anywhere. Yeah, this is still hot, but it's not super, super hot. So it does boil water. That's great. It takes quite a while, 6 minutes, but I think it was hot enough for coffee after 3 minutes. So that's good. I want to see the comparison of my stove. Okay, cooled off my pot, 16 ounces. Okay, there's our boil at about 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So it definitely takes longer. A little less than 6 minutes to 4.5 minutes. But it does get it to boil. I think that's probably going to be good enough for me. Well, I may have a problem with my little stove, and that is it doesn't appear to be working with the Ridge Monkey. I think because it's kind of curved, it's hot-ish in the middle, but nowhere else on the pan. Darn it. Okay, I have it pretty much done to a point. So this is going to be my water storage. This is going to be my clothes stuff cubby, since it's got this weird corner in the back. This is going to be my tap water, my drinking water, and my little window. And I haven't finished this section because it's gone all wonky on me. The base has totally come off, and I have a chair supporting it right now, but I really, really have to get it back in the car so that I can see how it actually should go. I was pretty confident about this, so I really hope it didn't change too much and it still fits. The only thing is, the paper mache really makes things shrink. My sink barely fits in here anymore. Same thing with this. This fit pretty comfortably in here, and now it's a lot tighter. So I'm really hoping it still fits when I put it in. So far I'm really pretty excited about the material and how it's working out. It's really pretty strong. Normally you can crush cardboard just squeezing it together. You can't do this. It's totally hard. I could probably put quite a bit of weight on this and not have it collapse. You can kind of see here, there's a little bit of flex in some places, but really where it's reinforced, it's pretty darn strong. I did not expect it to be this strong with one layer. So I have plans on how I'm going to cover it and decorate it and paint it and all kinds of cool stuff. So far, paper mache furniture is a really cool thing. I wasn't thinking I was going to take the trim off the other side, but I don't know, I might now and have little pockets and little cabinets. But so far, it's been a great success. Today is a super exciting day because I am putting my cardboard castle back in the car. Check it out. I can lift it up with one arm. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, so now is the moment of truth. Is it going to fit? Well, it's pretty close, but I'm not sure where it's hanging up. Or it might just be that that's just, well, no, this was up against the thing. Well, it's very close, but I have quite a bit of space here that I'm gonna have to jiggle around and figure out why it's not quite fitting. But the good news is I can always kind of cut whatever I need to cut. It's not that hard. The sun is just rising and it's still so hot. Maybe the weight sank down and it was really supposed to be up there? I don't know. It's a little wonky because it's flexed when I took it out. So I'm really glad I didn't do the whole thing. Okay, so I think my problem might be with my little window box here. I think it sunk down too low. So I'm gonna try to cut it off and see if the rest will fit, and then I'll redo it. It's kind of interesting to see the inner workings. Gosh, it's so strong. So it's better. It fits back a little bit more, but it didn't really solve the whole problem. So I think what I will do maybe is just redo this whole section. This was like kind of a feat of engineering, but I can probably do it again. And just kind of cut off this whole section and rebuild it so that it really fits in there. Paper mache it in the car. I think I'm gonna have to go back up to the mountains though, because it is so hot. All right, so let me update you. I've been fiddling with my little castle here, and I ended up cutting the whole top off because I could get my hand up underneath here, and I was like, there is a big, huge gap behind this thing. And the whole reason I'm doing it is so that I can't waste any inches, right? Like that's the whole reason I took the panel off. So I don't think it's a good idea to settle for something that doesn't fit in here perfectly, which is my goal. So I cut the top off, and that led me to really kind of see where the problem was lying. And it's in that when I took this out, I made it straight, and it's not straight. It's curved around here. My entire foundation has a problem. So I think I'm going to completely start over. And also, I started experimenting with my bed, and I've been using this little toilet that I got, which is really pretty cool. You pull up on it, and it can be any size you want. So it's been really handy in approximating how high the bed's gonna be. So if I put my cushion on my little adjusted toilet to approximate the height of the bed, then I kind of get a much better feel for how high everything is and what it really feels like to be in here. I'm kind of thinking I have to redo the design completely, because the thing I loved most in the van was that I had room. It's really kind of nice to sit on the edge here and have a spot for my feet. If I have this coming all the way out, I can't even put my feet down. I'm rethinking everything. I'm rethinking the entire design. Oh, and my tent came, which, oh my gosh, it's super cool. I can't wait to show you. It is 60 inches long, which I planned for, but it's really heavy. And so I was gonna have it angled and leaning up against the back seat. That's not gonna work. So I have to redo everything. I have to completely start over. But you know, it's not that hard. It wasn't a lot of material. I learned a ton about paper macheing furniture and learned that it does work. It was a big proof of concept. I think I can make something really cool, but bottom line is I have to start over completely from scratch, redesign everything, rethink how I am in this space, and redesign everything for how I am on the bed, because that's where I'm going to be. Hit the green button to subscribe and stay tuned, because I don't know what's going to happen next. Okay, bye guys.